We're talking with Mustang head football coach Cory Sauter as the Mustangs prepare for fall camp here in just a couple of days. And Coach, we'll talk more about the camp here shortly, but been a very busy summer for you guys since the conclusion of spring ball, and you guys always game planning, getting ready for fall camp. You've had summer camps. Just kind of talk about what you and your staff have been doing here in the last couple of months since spring camp ended last April.
Well, after spring ball, things kind of get cranked up for us with summer camps. We had quite a few this year, actually, with our individual camp and youth camp and team camps, and it has been probably our most productive summer as far as camps go. And so it's been a positive thing for us, just getting a lot of student athletes on campus and really exposing them to what we're about, who we're like, what we're like, and so I think that's an important piece that you need to have from the recruiting element. As far as other things, we had our golf tournament, which was a very successful event. We had a lot of people out, and good to see a lot of former players and boosters being a part of that. And then essentially we started preparing for our first game a couple weeks ago versus St. Cloud. We've got a big game here at the Regional Event Center on September 7th, so that will be a big game for us, and we've got a lot of work ahead before we get to that point. But I know getting ready for training camp, there's a lot of organizational things that go into that, making sure that everyone has all the things that they need to have to practice. There's a lot of forms that need to be completed from a medical standpoint, so we're finally closing in on it, and it'll be fun to just get everyone back on Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday the 14th, you have probably more than 110 guys coming into camp. Just an exciting time as you get ready, and we'll talk more next week once the guys get here and you start conditioning, but kind of talk about that first day or two and what you can do and what the guys will be doing, obviously checking in and doing the forms as you mentioned, and then getting some conditioning tests before you get on the field later on that week.
Yeah, we get them in. We get them in their dorms. We get their headshots. We get all their insurance information. So there's just a lot of those miscellaneous things, and then we will have a conditioning test that next day for all of our returning players, and then we'll test out all of our incoming guys just to see where they're at. From a height, weight, 40. Vertical, you name it, we're going to get an idea where they're at when they come into our program. And so really those first 2 days are a lot of meetings. We'll install our first practice that second day, and so as far as practice, we won't start until Friday. So we've got a few days before we actually get the helmets on and everything, and for the most part, we've got to get a lot of those miscellaneous things taken care of.
It'll be kind of exciting just to see your upperclassmen and those veteran players, really have to be leaders here in those first few days, and just showing the younger guys some of the ropes, and just to see the maturity that the guys have had throughout the spring and summer, because we've had a lot of guys stay in town and are ready to go for the season.
Yeah, we had a good group of guys that stayed in, this summer, and it was just good to, have good leadership, not only by seniors but by juniors and sophomores, and we don't vote for captains until right before game week, and so we want to find out who those individuals are going to be, but more importantly, come together as a group. That's really what training camp is about. You've got basically 2 weeks before game week to get the team pulled together, all going in the same direction, and that's really our goal for training camp, is just making sure that our upperclassmen know our underclassmen, our freshmen feel comfortable, in the setting that they're in, and just getting everybody on the same page, doing the right things, and getting them acclimated more say less.
Well, Coach, thanks for taking a few minutes, and we'll talk to you once camp starts. We'll have a lot of updates throughout fall camp as we get ready for that game versus St. Cloud on September 7th.
Well, we're looking forward to it.
Thanks, Coach.